maintenance supervisor. In charge of cleanup and stormwater drainage maintenance, but I've also had a lot of experience inside the sawmill as well, so it's kind of a role I kind of got into just recently. But yeah, has anybody of you been to the sawmill before? Is this the first time for everyone?
Yes.
All right, nice, sweet. Yeah, so our mill is kind of unique, or it's a little bit different in the sense that we kind of have two sawmills in one building. We have a large sawmill that cuts up to 60-inch logs on one side, and then we have a high-speed, optimized side of the sawmill that's it focuses 100% on recovery, getting the most fiber out of the boards. We can obviously tweak it to, depending on what we want to cut. If we want to cut more 4-inch or 2-inch or decking or certain materials, but it'll all optimize it to where we can still get as much material out of the logs as possible on there. So yeah, I'll kind of explain when we go through there the two halves, and you can kind of see where they converge, and then they combine into the one mill on the outfeed side. So cool. All right, this is everyone.
I was going to say, Lane's a local kid, went to Fortuna High School.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
What's your last name?
Shuri.
Shuri.
Yeah.
Glenn,
When did you graduate high school?
2016. Yeah.
Young guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
his dad, Glenn, is in charge of mill maintenance. What's his title now? He just got promoted.
Yeah, he's the maintenance manager here. Yeah, he's involved in all of the machines, running big upgrades on equipment and maintaining all of the band mills and equipment outside that I'll show you. He was originally a construction supervisor, so he would be the ones primarily installing the equipment, so major construction jobs, but now he's into the sawmill maintaining, kind of bringing back a preventative maintenance program, and he's doing a lot of work on processes and getting it fine-tuned.
How many do you have on a shift?
For production, we have 35 guys per shift on production. Millwrights, there is 4 shifts we run on millwrights.
Okay.
And there's around 8 or so per shift. And there's kind of a couple different roles for maintenance. One of them is correcting problems that happen during the shift. And then, so that we call them whistle chasers. So if there's a problem out there, they'll go out there and fix the problem. And then there is an after shift and weekend crew that comes in and they do PM. So they'll open up equipment, or if they have major jobs, we can do it on the downtime the sawmill's not running. So this sawmill runs 2 shifts. We've got one that starts up at 5:30 in the morning, ends about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we have a second shift come in right behind them at 3:30. And they'll get done around 1 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. So we have about a 5-hour window to get maintenance done between shifts. If there's anything major that needs to happen, we can get it done then. And we have a cleanup crew, which I'm in charge of, that also runs 2 different shifts. So they're more of a whistle chase. I only have a couple guys during the day. It's not super major to have guys during the day, but during the night, they get up top, knock everything down into the basement that they can, and then the day shift guys kind of pick up the basement. Yeah. So I don't know the total number on board here in Scotia. Is it around 200?
Yeah, around 200.
I think it's around 200
all in,
employees. Yeah, that we've got on the production side. I don't even know if that's including the power plant. I think that might just be sawmill.
If you included everybody, probably 240.
Yeah.
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 But it's real noisy out there, and so we'll try and gather up and answer questions. But sometimes we can duck into a cab or something for a little more discussion. There's a lot of belts and pulleys and stuff. They look like you want to touch them, but don't.
Yeah.
Keep your hands and feet inside the car.
Inside the ride, yeah.
Inside the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, take it
All right.
away.
Sounds good.
Oh, make sure you wear your protection.
Your
and so
protection's
forth.
good.
It
We're
is-
cutting redwood today
it is
too,
really
so
noisy out there.
it'll be a good day. Redwood's a lot messier than the
Other
other
redwood?
species. Yeah, we're on redwood.
Cool. Yeah, it's noisy enough that it can damage your hearing, so Sal's hearing aids.
majority of our byproducts that come from the sawmill will travel all the way down over to our power plant. So our power plant creates power and steam both through the sawmill. So majority of the byproducts coming from all of the broken pieces, they get chipped off and then they get sent over to our power plant for this water. Up here are already debarked. So if we have an issue with our debarker during a production shift, we can re-enter a mirror of this deck, and so we can bypass the debarker. So we stage up a bunch of logs just in case we have an issue with barking in the future. Infeed that goes into the sawmill over there. So before we get up there and it gets loud, on the right hand side after moving that way is going to be the large side of the mill. That's where the large logs are going to be infed to the sawmill. And then on the left side is going to be the small high-speed mill. And you guys are going to be able to tell right away the difference. But right up here is our 60-inch debarker. So anytime, it's debarking the large logs, much slower than our high-speed one. But what it is just basically a reed that spins around the log, and it has arms that come down to pretty much just grab the bark off of it. The log is really basically here. It just lays your head down to our hogs, and it gets all chipped up into a bunch. But it's the same process on both sides. Just one's a lot faster, and it's enclosed in a box. And then this is wide open. You see the wheels spinning.
process up to about 15 logs per minute. Where the large side, we're going to be processing one log, and it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to process one. So there's a big